Good evening, fellow punters. Mickey D back at you here on Sunday night about 8 o'clock or 10 past 8 in that region. With over a gallon of porter in. Good creamy Guinness it was, out watching the match today. A tremendous day out always on the sporting calendar. For someone that played football for over 20 years and involved coaching, I think 32, 33 years. It's absolutely brilliant to see the skill level of the players today and the determination and the fitness and the will to win. Great game. Well done to Kerry. Galway just came up a little bit short in the clutch. They just weren't there. Made a few mistakes. And they'll be back. They're not far away. They've played well. Great performances from David Clifford and Shane Walsh. So like shootout at the OK Corral, and Killian McDade. I had a tenner on him at 22-1 to be man of the match. He scored 4 points. He could have got 6. But the West isn't fully awake tonight, but it's not fully asleep either, because the racing is starting tomorrow. I'll be off early tomorrow to Galway. I see there's good money for the 3 horses I put up last night. Golf Marin is 5-2 from 9-2, and Darien is 9-2 from 32 after initially open at 11-1. And Call Me Bluff, or Call My Bluff, is 20s now from 33s. It could be the bus money swinging that market. So hopefully. That's the reason I come on here tonight, is to have a couple of for Tuesday, and we might get in early. The thing about Galway is you'll get about 10 tips for every race. And what you have to do is you have to evaluate and see what's the story, because down through the years ago, I often lost my hole in Galway years ago, listening to every Tom, Dick and Harry. But you have to study it up and have an angle. And sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. But more often than not, by putting in the bit of homework, that you'll come out, that you won't be in a position that you would have been in years ago, And I sort of, I'm like that now the last few years, that you mightn't lose an awful lot, but you mightn't win an awful lot either, or you could have been very lucky, But that's drink talking, I suppose. Anyway, Dermot O'Brien in Limerick, drink talking. He came out Friday evening and he won enough money to go back on the beer after being on the piss all week after Limerick winning. Stephen C is heading to Galway during the week. Ed Black was on the bus early this morning. Kev Keegs in Edinburgh bought a yearly ticket. MP in Galway was heading today, and he said he might meet me in Galway during the week. Mike Clancy and Innes Timon recommended Cooley's Bar for me to drop in when I head off in the camper van. I will call to it, yes. Mark McKee in Good Forum. Jod Goodhind, member of a syndicate that won race the other day. I think it was Dutch Decoy said that won. Paul Manton, sharp as a needle. He had a winner or two recently, 2 of them, I think, 3. Gail Forsmaya was a popular tip from 3 or 4 people yesterday, came in. Paul Headley was in great spirits getting on the bus, and he said that 'twas Big Marty Murphy's turn to buy a few pints. I think Marty was a bit shy, putting his hand in the foca. Patrick Kavanagh and Gary McLaughlin was the last on the bus, and off to the races we went. There's 2 for Galway that I will add to what I've done already. In the bumper tomorrow evening, it's a 4-year-old bumper. Willie Mullins has 3 in it. He is a 4-year-old filly out of Beat Hollow, and Jodie Townend is riding it. So she's claiming 5. So that carries 10 stone 9. It's a sister to Mount Leinster, who won first time out. It's a sister to Diamond Hill, who won first time out. It's also a half-sister to Blackstairs Mountain, and it's a half-sister to 3 or 4 more that if they didn't win first time out, they were placed, they were second. I think there was only one of her family that was outside the first 3 first time out. Patrick Mullins is riding the favourite. But I doubt if he'll be able to do the 11 stone anyway. I'm not sure. I didn't see him on a weighing scales lately, but I'm just trying to read between the lines. But that's an 11-2 shot. So a point each way in the hope. It's a guessing game really when it comes to this bumper every year. But I'm just trying to read between the lines and see where we're going. So that's, what did I call it? Did I write down his name at all? Oh, the 12 Pins. That's the name of it, yeah. Mountain in the west of Ireland. In the 750 at Galway, I had two picked out for this each way selections. One is, but I've changed my mind about them, but I'll give them anyway. I didn't think there was enough rain for actually in his first time in a handicap. It's on a fast company. Mick Mulvaney is good form. He has last 9 runners. He had 2 winners and 3 places. And Wesley Joyce is going all right. And congratulations, that one for us below in Sligo very impressively. Had a very bad run last time out. It finished last, but there had to be something amiss, I thought, because the way it won in Sligo, you'd think there was another one on the cards. But common practice is the favourite for Joseph O'Brien, but it won that Apprentice Derby in the Curragh, and Impero was in that, and that hasn't really done much since, and it has gone up £8 for us. So I think there's a solid selection in this at 11 to 1. It's the top weight in Enthralment, Dermot Weld. Now, looking back on it, no claiming jockey has won it that I could see in the last 20 years, and he's claiming 5, but he's a good lad. So Enthralment, it'll be carrying 9 stone 9. It was last seen in the Ulster Derby when it was a 5th, but I thought it ran on generously to the line, and it got into a bit of bother on the turn for home. You'd think that it'll relish the uphill finish in Galway, and the horse that was 4th in that race was Shark Bay, who's rated 95, and that won yesterday. So we're rated 87 minus the £5. So we're running off 82, so they're paying 5 places at 11 to 1. I thought that's worth a pint each way. Now, in the event that I'm going to Galway tomorrow, and I might go to the casino afterwards playing poker, so I may not get up a video until Tuesday. So people that want to get early bets on, I've picked out 2 for Galway on Tuesday. The 750 Galway, Earls for Gavin Cromwell. It was reeled in by Darian, our horse, in the last day, the time it ran in Limerick, and it was up £1 to 76, so it ran off 75. But it's better with cutting the ground, and I thought that the ground was a bit lively for it that day. Now, last year when it was with Garvin Donnelly, he ran twice in Galway. He was 7th of 15, beaten 3 lengths at 50 to 1 when he was off 75, and he was 4th of 14 then 6 days later. And he ran on both times. And the second time he ran, he was only beaten like a length and a half, even though he was 4th. And he hadn't ran last year from May until July, and he's fitter this year with a trainer that's going all right. So I would expect Earls to be competitive. There's no prices up for that, but we'll have a pint each way because there has to be a good price in him. In the 820 in Galway on Tuesday evening, it's a 8.5 furlong race. It's 21 declared. It's a 50 to 70 handicap. The top weight, Clear Quartz. It's trained by Mark Fahey, 5-year-old out of Slade Power. He won a handicap in Fairyhouse in October 2020 off 60 as a 3-year-old in heavy ground. It was 3rd of 16 last October in Galway off 56. Now, then it won in Killarney in May this year off 59, and it went up £10 for that, but it was second in Roscommon the last year, and I was there that day, and I thought, yeah, this might be aiming for Galway. So it's an each way selection as well. And when I'm on Tuesday, in the event I don't have something up tomorrow night, which I probably won't, but if I come down on something as well on Tuesday, I'll just add it in the description on this particular video, and anyone that has tips for Tuesday, put it to this one, and anyone that has tips for Monday, put it to the one I done last night. In the 150 on Tuesday in Goodwood, it's a 1 mile 2 handicap, 18 declared. I'm giving another chance to Legend of Dubai to redeem himself after a very disappointing run in Ascot the last time. Trained by Roger Varian. Out of his last 56 runners, he has had 15 winners and 13 placed horses. So that's 27% strike rate. He's going well. Andre Anzini, out of his last 27 rides, 8 winners, 5 seconds, 28%. Now this previously had hosed up in Newmarket over a mile, and I'm just giving it the benefit of the doubt that there's more in the tank. So it's a 6-1 shot, a pint each way. That's in the first race on Tuesday. And then a stronger selection in the 3 o'clock on Tuesday in Goodwood, the Lennox Stakes, a Group 2, 7 furlongs, 11 declared. Sacred. It was last seen, but this particular race was last won by a 3-year-old in 2013. That was Garswood. And 5 of the last 7 winners has been a 4-year-old. Sacred for Willie Haggis is a 4-year-old filly out of Exceed and Excel. It's raced at 113. It's 3 for 9. It seems best at 7 furlongs. It faded when it ran in the Guineas last year, the one won by Mother Earth. Didn't seem to stay. It beat Lancash last year, handy enough, I thought, in Newmarket. And its only run this year was in the Jubilee Stakes, the Group 1. And that was over 6 furlongs, and it was 5th. And it was an eye-catcher running on, I thought. And I was saying, yeah, this could suit it to run in the Lennox Stakes. So I'd be confident enough that might win. I go a 3-point win on that. That could be the ring talking. But the 3:35 then on Tuesday is the Gold Cup. We have Kyprios in that. There's 9 declared. Will Trushan run is the question. It won it last year. They might take a chance on it this year because it won impressively enough the Northumberland Plate in Newcastle. And I was looking back on its form last night on ground that it ran in, and it won twice on good ground. So maybe they're just being too risky as it was a younger horse, and they may take a gamble on it and run it. But we have to stay on Kyprios. It has won twice for us. It won in Leopardstown at 5-1, or the Curragh was it, Leopardstown, and it won the last day as an anti-post bet at 11-2. So got to stay loyal to that. It could be the first time a horse has won 3 times for the channel in 5 months. There's been about 5 horses that has won twice for us. So this is a huge day for that horse and for us. If I fancy something, I'll add to it as well. And if I'm not back tomorrow night, which I probably won't, I'll be back Tuesday night, because I doubt if I go to Galway 2 days in a row, and with a couple for Wednesday. I'm really sweet on one for Wednesday, if it works out for us. But I'll find out in the meantime. Bash the bookies. Oh, I was chatting to a fella today in the pub watching the match. He reckons that there's a new wheelbarrow coming out now, that he was Googling it last night. That is the wheelbarrow with a battery. So I told him that this might not be a good idea, because with a battery, it should be like a lawnmower. It can take off from you. So a health and safety issue. I don't want anyone to tumble over or whatever, like, anyway. So we'll see. Another fella said today that if things were going much better, he'd need a skip instead of a wheelbarrow. So let's continue it. We're going all right. We're chugging away nicely in the middle lane. Over and out. Bash the bookies.